welcome back to another Supernatural Scotland the podcast. I am your host, Mark. Now, in the heart of Scotland, where ancient stones stand as silent witnesses to centuries of sorrow and secrets, there are places where the veil between worlds grows thin. Places where the whispers of the past echo through the present, and where the unseen lingers waiting. Tonight we delve into such places where death and legend intertwine, and where the very air vibrates with the unseen. Tonight we will visit locations where the dead have refused to leave, and we will hear the sound of the death omen. We will walk among the silent stones of Dundee's old Howff, where the city's history is etched in every weathered grave. We will explore the shadowed closes of Stirling's old town, where the past casts long, chilling shadows, and we will listen for the mournful wail of the Caoineag, a sound that heralds the coming of death. Our journey begins in Dundee, at the old Howff cemetery. Its story begins in 1564, when Mary, Queen of Scots, granted the land for use as a burial ground. Before that, it was a garden of a monastery. Imagine that a place of quiet contemplation and prayer transformed into a crowded city of the dead. Over the centuries, it became the final resting place for countless citizens of Dundee, a testament to the city's tumultuous history. Tradespeople would meet here, hence the name Howff, meaning meeting place, but it's the sheer density of the burials, especially during the outbreaks of the plague and cholera, that has given rise to so many chilling tales. The ground itself seems to hold the echoes of the past, a weight of sorrow and loss that hangs heavy in the air. Within these ancient walls, whispers abound. The air itself feels different here, colder, heavier. Many visitors report an immediate sense of unease upon entering, a feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. It's as if the very stones are aware of your presence. One of the most persistent stories centres around a woman, often described as being dressed in black or grey, who is seen wandering the paths at dusk. Her face is always averted, turned away from the observer, and her presence is accompanied by an overwhelming sense of sadness and grief. Some say she is searching for a lost child, others that she died of a broken heart and is forever doomed to walk the cemetery. Then there are sounds. The wind whispers through the ancient gravestones, carrying with it not only the sounds of the city, but also something else, something unsettling. Faint cries, barely audible, as if carried on the breeze from another time. The rustling of grass, as if something is moving through the long grass where no one is there. Footsteps on the stone paths, echoing when no living soul is nearby. The old gravestones themselves seem to bear witness to the passage of time and the suffering of those who lie beneath. Many are worn and weathered, their inscriptions faded and illegible. Yet they stand as silent reminders of lives lived and lost. It's not uncommon for visitors to feel a strange pull towards certain graves, an inexplicable sense of connection to the person buried there. The cholera epidemics of the 19th century left a particularly dark mark on the Howff mass graves, hastily dug, filled with the bodies of those who succumbed to the disease. It's said that the energy of the suffering, the fear and the pain lingers still. Some claim to have seen shadowy figures huddled near these mass graves, or to have heard the faint sounds of coughing and weeping. The atmosphere of the Howff is one of profound melancholy. It's a place where the past feels close, where the veil between worlds seems thin. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's no denying the powerful sense of history and loss that permeates this ancient burial ground. It's a place that leaves a lasting impression, a reminder that fragility of life and the enduring power of memory. We now move to Stirling, to its ancient... Somebody else hear bagpipes? That must be Gary trying to practice again. Let's try and get through the rest of the podcast without him interrupting with his not so good playing. We move now to Stirling, to its ancient old town, a place of medieval closes and winding wynds, where history seeps from every stone. Stirling, a royal borough, has been a pivotal point in Scottish history for centuries. Its strategic location, guarding the lowest crossing point of the River Forth, made it a key stronghold, and a place where kings were crowned. The old town, nestled beneath the imposing Stirling Castle, retains much of its medieval character, a testament to its long and storied past. The narrow alleyways or closes and the winding wynds are a labyrinth of history, where every stone has a story to tell. The old town jail, a place of grim confinement, holds stories of suffering and despair. Built in the 19th century, it replaced an earlier, far more brutal prison, where conditions were appalling and punishments were often swift and merciless. Within its walls, prisoners endured harsh conditions, disease was rife, and many met violent ends. Whispers of tortured souls, of footsteps echoing in empty cells, and the feeling of unseen eyes watching from the shadows are common tales. One story tells of a former warden, a man known for his cruelty, who is said to patrol the corridors, his heavy footsteps echoing through the empty cells. Visitors often report feeling a sudden chill and the sense of being watched, as if the warden is still keeping a watchful eye on his charges. The closes and wynds of Stirling are also rife with ghostly tales. These narrow alleyways, often shrouded in shadow, were once the homes of town's poorest residents, and many tragic events took place within their walls. One particular close, known as Dead Man's Wynd, is said to be haunted by the spirit of a young woman who was murdered there. Her apparition is said to appear on dark nights, her mournful cries echoing through the narrow passage. People have reported seeing her pale figure, her face contorted in fear as she relives her final moments. The old Stirling Bridge, a vital crossing point, has witnessed countless battles and journeys. It has seen armies march and traders pass, but it has also been the scene of many tragic deaths. The Battle of Stirling Bridge in 1297 saw William Wallace lead the Scots to victory against the English, but the battle was bloody and many lives were lost. It is said that on the anniversary of the battle, the sounds of marching feet, the clash of steel, and the cries of the fallen can be heard echoing across the bridge. Some have even reported seeing ghostly figures, their forms obscured by the mist, as they relive the battle. The ancient buildings of the town, many of which date back centuries, also hold their share of ghostly tales. Old inns, where travellers once sought shelter, are said to be haunted by the spirits of those who never left. And private homes, once the scenes of family tragedies, are said to hold the lingering energies of those who suffered within their walls. The feeling of being watched, or the sudden drop in temperature, are common reports from these old buildings. So there it is. Stirling, just like Edinburgh, has plenty of ghostly tales and tragic histories. And now we turn to a sound, a chilling sound that echoes through the Highlands, the wail of the Caoineag. A death omen, a mournful cry that signals the passing of a soul. She is described as a woman with long flowing hair and a pale face, her wailing a sound that chills the very bone. She is a figure deeply rooted in Scottish folklore, a harbinger of death and sorrow. Her cry is a lament, a sorrowful song that echoes through the glens, a warning of impending loss. Some say she is linked to a specific family or clan, her wail a herald of their doom. Others say she lingers near places of death, such as battlefields or burial grounds, her mournful cry a constant reminder of mortality. The sound of her wail is said to be unmistakable and once heard impossible to forget. It is said to be a sound that chills the blood and fills the heart with dread. And so we leave these places of shadow and sorrow, these echoes of lives long past, but remember, listener, that the stories we've told, they are not confined to those ancient stones and shadowed closes. They linger like a cold breath on the back of your neck. They seep into the very fabric of our world waiting. The whispers of the Howff, the shadows of Stirling, the mournful wail of the Caoineag. And they are not just tales, they are warnings. Reminders that the veil between worlds is thin, and that the dead are not always silent. They watch, they wait, they remember. And as you return to your own world, to your own quiet spaces, consider this. What echoes linger there? What shadows stir in the corners of your room? What sounds do you ignore, telling yourself it's just the wind, just the house settling? Perhaps you're wrong. Perhaps the whispers are real. Perhaps the shadows are watching you. Perhaps the sound you hear, just at the edge of hearing, is not the wind at all. Perhaps it is the Caoineag calling your name. Goodbye for now.